Hello YangGang, this is Naman. On this video, I'm going to do a challenge that's 1 week too late. Paget Kegi, she started a challenge prior to debate number 2. She wants us to do her challenge before then. Well, I hope it's better late than never. I hope. So let's let her explain the challenge real quick. She's much better speaker than I am.
Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. So, I think it's about time that we all do a hashtag YangGang challenge. You guys are so amazing. Honestly, YangGang has some of the most passionate, intelligent, kind people online that I've
agree.
seen. And so
Including her.
why don't we all get to know each other and also help spread awareness around Andrew's message? The challenge goes like this: tweet, stream, post on YouTube, wherever you can online, the answer to these 5 questions and tag at least a couple of people if you can. That's just a bonus. Make sure to use the hashtags #JoinYangGang, #YangGangChallenge. And you can tag me on Twitter at PagetKegi so that I'll retweet you, and let's retweet each other to really get momentum behind this. So here are the 5 questions for you to answer to join the #YangGang Challenge. Number 1.
Alright. I have the 5 questions printed out. But before I get to these 5 questions, I do want to show you a couple of things. As we all know, we have gone through the El Paso news and Dayton, Ohio news. I keep on wanting to say Daytona. Anyway, because of that, I went through Andrew Yang's gun safety policy on his website. I read that. I read the Second Amendment. And I read the explanation of the Second Amendment. You know, this channel is called Make Me Think Harder. So it's not a teaching channel, but it's a learning channel for me, okay? So if you have something to teach me, go ahead and write something down there. Well, I was gonna talk about all those, but these guys do so much better job than I would have done. So I put it into this playlist, Andrew Yang's Gun Safety Policy playlist, and I'll provide the link below. And when you go to that playlist, you should be able to link to all these channel. I do want to say one thing, that Nurse for Andrew Yang 2020, yeah, actually a couple of things. He's all data driven. He explains how people are not ready for gun control, and how he gives all the gun violence data, and I mean very thorough. If you're emotional about that, I'm still a little emotional about that event. Watching his video makes me make me step back a little bit and look at it more logically. So that was very helpful. Of course, other channels were very helpful too. Bull of the Fifth Column. That's I don't know if YangGang people know of him. He's not a YangGang. He don't have a hashtag YangGang stuff on his channel, but he had a very interesting take on gun control. We YangGang people like to call gun safety policy, right? Anyway, so that's just in case if someone needed a good sources on YouTube channel. I thought these were pretty good. Now, let's get to the question. Challenge. How did you hear about Andrew Yang? Okay. My favorite interviews. I have another channel And on that channel, with using that account, I watch a lot of food related video. And Funkbro is a channel that often comes up. I don't even sub to them, but they come up. And they show Andrew Yang. Why is Andrew Yang running for president? I thought it was a joke at first, but after watching the video, I realized it wasn't a joke. Asian guy running for president. But I didn't. I didn't think nothing of it until this came through my search algorithm. Joe Rogan Experience, Andrew Yang, and I thought, because I've seen Joe Rogan before. I've seen about 2 or 3 channels. He seemed to be very popular channel and had Andrew Yang on there. So I got intrigued and I watched it, and that sold me on UBI, Freedom Dividend. So, what is your favorite policy of his? Freedom Dividend, but I really like how he have hundreds of policies in his website. He think of small details like getting rid of a penny to, I like his democracy dollar. I mean, I like a lot of it. I don't know if I like the 16-year-old voting rights, but I like the rest of it. Who should be his VP? Everybody seems to pick Gabbard, but I'd be okay with the Warner, but I'd like to know. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Harris. But I'll be okay with Gabbard or the other lady. I think she'd be good too. I forgot her name. I really like her. But she could be in the head of a psychology department that Andrew is talking about. That'd be cool. Anyway, that's that. What state do you represent? I represent state of Virginia, but I might move to Oklahoma soon. I'm not sure about that. So either state of Virginia or Oklahoma. How are you spending your first month $1,000 UBI? Okay. I think this is great experiment. I think it's worth a try. Yeah, I know he talks about Alaska having a dividend, but world dividend, but we haven't implemented this kind of system in such a huge scale, right? But I think it's still a great experiment of the century. Even if it doesn't end up working, I think it's a great experiment. And if we are conducting this experiment, as Andrew Yang follower and as an Andrew Yang voter, I think we have some responsibility to make this work. So first month's $1,000 UBI, symbolically, I first wanted to spend on like donating to preventing global warming, slow down global warming, or reversing it, technology, investing in that kind of stuff, or donating to that kind of stuff. But after seeing this horrendous act in El Paso and in Daytona, Ohio, it got me thinking. These are young kids, 21, 20 something, and when they were packing up their guns, surely they didn't think they were going to survive, right? If they do survive, surely they didn't think they were going to escape. If they do escape, surely they didn't think they were going to live some kind of a heroic life, right? Basically, they gave up on their life. and they had no value for their own life. And naturally, I guess that's why they didn't had no value for anyone else's life. Not their family, not their own family. It's let me show you a little clip of Andrew Yang speaking about how to measure.
The problem is that so many people feel like the economy has left them behind. What we have to do is we have to say, look, there's record high GDP and stock market prices. You know what else are at record highs? Suicides, drug overdoses, depression, anxiety. It's gotten so bad that American life expectancy has declined for the last 3 years. The way we win this election is we redefine economic progress to include all the things that matter to the people in Michigan and all of us, like our own health, our well-being, our mental health, our clean air and clean water, how our kids are doing. If we change the measurements for the 21st century economy to revolve around our own well-being, then we will win this election.
I think the data entry for these two cases, these two terrorist cases, yeah, mark them as a terrorist, and that's how they die from terrorist activity going wrong, I guess, or death penalty. But I think they also should be marked as two suicide cases. Andrew Yang talked about importance of measuring right data. And the right data here is that these guys are suicide cases. And if we could prevent suicides among young people, then maybe this could slow down a little bit. Because preventing suicide is investing in these people and saying, hey, you guys' life means something. You know, government is willing to give you $1,000 every month for the rest of your life, even if you don't do anything. Your life means something. We need to figure out how to give them family, friends, and community back to these guys so they are tied to a community where they're not disconnected, isolated, alone, suicidal. That's what I feel like. So my $1,000 UBI will go toward, first one anyway, will go toward something like that. Some program that will do that. Because for this policy to work, every one of us has to pull our neck out of the sand and look around and look at the weather, look at the climate changes, look at our social changes, and since now we got extra money in our pocket, we should be away from that scarcity mentality and think of others to better our community. Because if we don't cooperate, this great experiment will have less chance of succeeding. Anyway, I really enjoy doing this challenge. Please, if I think it's not, I mean, I think it's better late than never. So do the challenge like she said, and be included in the hashtag in the YangGang community. Till next time, I'm out.